Good evening. Thanks for joining us as always. We were a little bit late tonight. A few technical hitches as usual. Anyway, now we've got a few of you here. Right, let's get started, I think. So, thanks for joining me. Before I forget, because last week I was very remiss and I forgot to tell you lots of things. So, first of all, we're going to do some housekeeping. So we have a giveaway this evening. So if you're design team, you can't enter, Adam. Sorry. But anyone that isn't design team can enter the giveaway. So basically, we are giving away a £25 voucher for the store, which in dollars I think is probably Chris, can you work it out? What's 1.25 times 25? My calculator's behind you. Oh, never mind. I think it's basically £30. $30 rather. I think it's about $30 in dollars. So a nice chunky gift certificate, well, store credit for you there. And also the other thing I need to tell you is, first of all, if you want to get a reminder for all of our lives, basically in the comments, just type a reminder in the comments here on this live. And what happens is you get a direct message on social. So whether you're watching on Instagram, on Facebook, or on YouTube, you'll get the option to sign up to, and all it is that every week or every time we do a live, you'll get a reminder in your direct messages before we actually start, so you don't miss it next time. You can unsubscribe if you want to at any point. Yeah, I know I'm sat at the side of the screen. I know I've moved my camera. Hang on. I nudged it earlier and it's gone a little bit. Oh, let me go a bit the other way. Is that better? Am I a bit better now? It's because I'm all set up on the wrong side. So sorry, I've got someone directing me in the corner tonight. Rolls eyes. He's under instructions not to complain and moan, and I'm under instructions not to go over an hour because the football's on at 8 o'clock apparently. So yeah, so just subscribe to the reminders if you want to. And we've got Maz and Julie. Hi. So you'll just get a reminder into your direct messages. Like I say, you can unsubscribe if you decide it's annoying, but it just means that you don't have to remember. You'll automatically get notified when we're going live. So if we do like an ad hoc one that isn't on a Wednesday night, then you'll get a little reminder. The other thing I must tell you about, which I totally forgot about last week, to make this easier, if you do want to shop or you just want to find out more about a product that I'm using, Chris will be posting little kind of previews of every product that I use as I'm going through. Now, every product has a little code, and what you need to do is you need to type in the comments if you want to. We're making it easy for you to shop, basically, or to find out more information. So rather than you having to remember the name of the product and what I've used, and then having to go to the website and remember to search for that, and it maybe not come up. Basically, we can, again, if you just type shop in the comments here and then actually add the code for that product as it pops up on the screen. So say, for instance, it'll be shop window. And if you just type shop window in your comments, in your, I'm not explaining this very well, am I? It's been a long day. In your direct messages, wherever you are, basically, again, you'll get a link that says you were interested in this product. Here's the link if you want to have a further look. And that's all it is. So if there's anything that you'd like to look at further or you want to know more about, just type that shop code, plus, so it has to have shop in front of it, plus the code, and put it in the comments, and then you'll get the links. And you don't need to do them straight away then. You can do it all at the end so you don't actually miss any of the live, because sometimes people kind of like go off to the website wanting to find things, and then you're missing part of the demo and stuff. So it just gets rid of all that. So that's 3 things. So type reminder if you want to get a reminder for the live. Put shop in front of the code if you want to know more information. And if you want to be in the giveaway to get a £25 or $30 roughly voucher, then you need to actually type win in the comments, and we'll pick it's a random winner at the end, but no one from the design team is allowed to win. So if the software picks someone from the DT, we'll draw it again. So I'm sorry. Right, okay. So anyway, let's go on then, shall we? So obviously we did a live again on Sunday where I showed you half of the new release, but it's so big we didn't get through it all. So I did say that we'd do the other half of the release. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to go through that, and I'm going to try and come up with some projects. I thought I had a project plan, but it turns out I didn't. I'd used them all on TV, I think. So let's start, shall we? And I'm going to oops, you see, I stood up and I headbutted the camera. Which way does it go? Oh no, wrong camera. Hang on. Oh, let me just, sorry, I have a bit of a thing about straight lines, so I can't deal with it when it's wonky. There you go. So the first product that I absolutely am in love with in this kit is this one, and this was one of the main items that I kind of designed first, and it's this gorgeous window die. So this is so pretty, and I wanted it to really look like it was sort of very shabby chic, and that it was really versatile and usable. So basically, as you can see, it's a big die set, this one. So you know, it's not a little tiny die, it's big. So in terms of just measuring this for you guys, well, basically this is an A5. This piece of magnetic sheet is A5, which in the US, excuse me, just let me get a drink. Oh, I had a banana and it's repeating on me. So in the US, this is a 6x8 sheet. So you can see this is a big die set. So you, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but you've got perforations here down the shutters. So you're going to be able to open and close the shutters. And then you also have all of these extra pieces. So what they do is you've got this gorgeous little curtain here that it's like a cafe curtain. And I kind of did that so that you could actually make like little cafe windows and things like that. And then you've obviously got the little window box and all of this foliage as well. So all of these you can build up. You can obviously use this foliage for other things as well. And also, whilst we're going through this, the other product that I want to show you as well, because these were designed to go together, is this one, which is the botanical foliage dies. So again, this one is really pretty. And just a really good set of foliage that you're going to kind of use these all the time, I think. I've not stopped using them, and I know the girls on the team were, as they were prepping, they were using them all the time on virtually everything, because they're just so useful. So again, you know, these are it's a smaller die set, but it's a really good size. Now, if you've already got the Super Sprig die, which we brought out, years ago now, but it's still one that I use all the time, you will find that this particular die goes really well with Super Sprig, because it's a similar shape. I made sure it wasn't the same, but it literally was designed so it matches Super Sprig as well. So, you know, find your Super Sprig, and if you don't have that, go to the website and grab that, because it's a little bit bigger than this die. You actually get two pieces. It's one die, but you get two pieces in it. And it is so useful. You can make wreaths with it and all sorts of different things. And it's a really good one to put with this set. And it's only about I think it's about £3 or something like that. £3, $4 maybe, something like that. I think it's probably on sale because it's one we've had for a really long time. We've reordered it several times because it's been so popular. So that's your botanical foliage, that's called, and you're getting 5 dies in that set. This one here is one that I'm going to absolutely use all the time. I just know they're just absolute must-haves. So these were designed to go with this set. And if I turn that over, you'll see here that you actually have, if I just lift this up, and if you've not seen our magnetic ones, you just saw how good that was then. So just lifting that up. So you can see here that that die correlates with this one and is just going to work together. Now, once you've cut this one, let's see if I've got any that are already cut. You'll be able to, yes I do. You'll be able to actually bend it around your window. So that's kind of like what the idea was, that it, you know, it just gives you extra foliage that you can use. Let me move these out of the way. This, just to point out one particular die here. This one, oops. This one is like 3 little lines. If you're wondering what that was, after I designed it and I actually got the dies, because we get them sometime later after they've been designed, you know, it's quite a long time goes between. Basically, I got this and then I kind of went, what the heck is that? What's that? And I thought it was to go in here in your window box. And actually, you could, if you wanted to, and maybe I think maybe I did design it that way. I'm not sure, but anyway, you could cut like little lines out of your window box if you wanted to. Just position it within it like that. Obviously, it's upside down, but this actually is your stalks or stems for your flowers. So don't get confused. Again, you could actually also put it in there, and that's how it comes in the die when you actually first get the die, and that was why I wondered what it was. But yeah, you've got your 3 little bits of foliage. You've got some gorgeous little cute flowers here as well. So all of these are all going to work together. So I would really, you know, recommend that you get the botanical foliage at the same time as you get the window, because you're going to love that one. You're going to love them together. So just to show you what they actually cut out like, let me just bring some of these bits and pieces here. And we've already assembled some bits here for you to see. Let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so that's that long spindly piece in the botanical foliage. So look, you're going to be able to actually make that rotate. You're going to be able to make wreaths with that. So, you know, 2 of those cut is going to make a nice wreath, sort of this size, which is a really good size. That would be great on a 4x6 card or also on a bigger card as well. And then you've got all your other little bits and pieces of foliage. I've just cut them out of 2 different colours here. I don't want to spend too much time going through because we never have enough time for a demonstration or to make a project. But then you can kind of make all of your little flowers. And just to show you as well, I want to just show you this. So on your flowers, these flowers, can you see? Oh, hang on, I'm at an angle here. Can you see how this flower is actually 2 layers and it's a little spiral, so it makes it look like a rose? It's so cute. It's separate to the green stuff there. So it's just the actual flower head. Now you can actually make the flower just on its own, or you can add that little curl as well. If you really like using your tweezers, you should actually be able to make this into a little spiral rose flower, which I kind of had in mind when I did it, but I haven't actually done it yet, and I haven't got a spare one cut. But if I could, I would do it. You know, you just almost like quilling. If you had a quilling tool, it'd work really, really well. But that's your flowers there, and your little window box as well. So you can see how that all works together. I mean, just the window box on its own as well. When I design, everything has to have more than one purpose. So, you know, this is why things aren't just kind of thrown together, you know. So as I'm designing, I'm also thinking about how you can just use this. So that on a card with a sentiment on its own would just be so cute. You know, I love window boxes. I just have a thing about them. I don't know what it is, but they're just, when I was a kid, we used to have a house in our village that had window boxes, a bit like this. And I just used to love it. Every time I used to go past, there was something, I don't know if it's kind of a bit fairy tale-y, but I love windows and shutters and like that whole cafe style and everything. I just love everything about it. And then to show you the actual window die itself, I cut this just as we were going live. Hi Chris and hi Kim, thanks for joining us again. So this is quite thick card, this one. Now I love cutting, you know, and just kind of doing things that are white on white. So you can see here, you've got these perforations. So you can just, I haven't got an embossing tool. Oh yeah, I just found one. Okay, so just score down that with your embossing tool, just gently, and it'll just make it a bit easier to open the window. I mean, you kind of just bend it back really. It's just, if your cardstock's quite thick, it's kind of a little bit, not difficult to get the crease, but it just helps you get the crease. But look how much dimension you get. So you could, you know, just have one window open. You could do what you like, decorate the shutters, make them like a nice pretty colour. Gorgeous, absolutely lovely. So I'm going to show you what you can do with this. And it's just occurred to me that, you know, we were a little bit late starting. So I'm going to just kind of make something as we go along, I think. So what I'm going to do, I want to also show you something else that actually goes. Just grab, where is it? Where have you gone? Is it not there? Oh, crikey. But I have just had another idea. Okay. It's here somewhere because I had it a minute ago. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go overhead again. So the other thing that was designed to go with the window is this brick wall stencil. So it's not really brick, it's more like a stone wall, and I kind of did that on purpose because there's lots of brick stencils out there. They all pretty much look the same, so I wanted ours to be different. So you've got this gorgeous kind of stone wall effect, which again feeds into the whole shabby chic kind of thing, kind of look. So I'm going to just put this, let me actually make a card so that we get the sizing up. So I'm going to make a A5 and which is kind of like a little bit bigger than it's a 6x8, but which is kind of a standard size in the UK. You guys in the US, this is kind of quite a big card for you. But anyway, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to grab just some inks, and I'm just going to get a couple of different colours. Okay, so I've got fossilized amber, vintage photo, brush corduroy. I might use. Let me just move this a little bit so you can see a bit better. Let me move that down a little bit. Oops. Let me just. Okay. So brush corduroy I might use, and then I've got Victorian velvet, and I've got peacock feather as well. And you might be thinking, what? They're weird colours to be using. Yeah, they kind of are, but bear with me, it's going to be fine. So first of all, I'm going to go in with my lightest colour first. So I'm going to use fossilized amber, and all I'm going to do, I just want a little touch. I don't want a whole entire wall here, okay? So I'm just going to randomly, just a little tiny bit of yellow, and you'll see what will happen is it'll just lift it a bit. And the reason I'm doing that is because look, those two shades work together. So this is the brushed corduroy and the fossilized amber. They're in the same color spectrum, so they're on the kind of there is the same tone of color. So basically, if you lighten this up, you're going to get to fossilized amber. So like I say, I don't want a lot, so I'm going to come in with a bit of vintage photo. And it doesn't matter which way you do it, tiny bit. I actually find it's quite good if you just brush randomly. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my Distress Oxide, Victorian Velvet. So it's a really nice kind of blush pink. Now I've just move my card, just get that back. Okay, and I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of that in there. Again, not too much. And then we're going to go to the peacock, and I'm just going to rub that onto my mat just so that I know how much I've got there. I don't want a lot of it. And I've actually put way more ink on this than I actually wanted, but anyway, mind. Now what I do need to be careful of is not to go over the areas that are yellow, because it's obviously going to go green. Okay, and there was one other colour that I knew there was a colour I'd missed. I'm going to go in with speckled egg as well, so I'm just going to still use that colour. Now funnily enough, when you actually do this colour combo, putting the peacock feather on with these yellowy browns actually makes it look like speckled egg. Anyway, so let's see what we get. Look at that. How nice is that? And can you see how just having those little touches of pink in there and the touches of blue completely give you a different look to what you would normally maybe choose? So I think probably 90% of people would go browns in here, but just putting that blue and that pink in just completely gives you a different feel to it, and just kind of gives it a bit more vibrancy and something just a little bit different. So I'll just grab those out of the way, move them. So that then means that now when we actually lay our window over the top, it's kind of starting to kind of stand out a little bit more. Now what I do want to do, again, I want this to look a bit a bit shabby chic. So what I'm going to do, let me grab, here we go, that'll do. So I'm going to come back with my I keep calling it distress, my speckled egg. And again, I'm just going to put that onto my mat. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, so I just want to just put a little bit on, not too much. Yeah, guys, don't forget, we've got a giveaway for those of you that have just joined us. So you're going to get, one lucky person is going to win a £25 voucher, which is about $30 to spend in the store. So to be in there with a chance, all you've got to do is comment win. And at the end, we'll pick a random winner. Design team people, no, you cannot join in. They're all going, oh, no, mean. Yeah, we're mean. And also, if there's any, I'm having difficulty speaking and doing tonight at the same time for some reason. If any of these products you'd like to know more about, just put where Chris has just popped up there, shop window bundle. All you need to do is just type that shop window bundle in the comments and you'll get a link to that product. and then you'll be able to go and actually look on the website and find out more about it at the end without actually kind of like leaving the live. So it's just a way of helping you to find out more, if you know, without you having to go off searching and everything. And then the other thing that I keep forgetting about is if you want a reminder for next time's live, which should be next Wednesday, then just type reminder in the comments as well, and then you'll get a little reminder. Now, as I'm kind of looking at this, because I put too much colour down on here, what I might do is I might just distress this a little bit more and just kind of make it a little bit darker so it stands out a bit more. I don't think it's as bad in real life as it looks on the camera, because there's a lot of shadow with the lights. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my speckled egg, and I'm going to go quite heavy in here. Now, let me see. I just want to try and mark out where I need to be. So I'm just going to lift that up each side and just do a rough mark. That's pretty much it. And then about there. So let's just, now this might not work. It might look really awful when I've done it, but I just feel like it needs a little bit of shadow going on. And it means that we're actually creating the depth of the room behind the window as well, to an extent. Okay. So let's see what happens there. It looks horrible when you do it like that, but look what happens now. Isn't that nice? So let's just do, I think, a little bit more, just so the shutters stand out. Okay, and I might just, what's ice spruce like? That's, oh, a bit darker. That's what I want. Okay, so this is ice spruce. So let's get some of that working in there as well. It looks a bit grim when you're looking at it like that, doesn't it? That's better. Look, we're actually sort of getting that shadow there. I like that. That's nice. Okay, what's that? Ice spruce, and there you go. It's a long time since I've used some of these colours. Okay, now what you could do if you wanted to is to actually back that with some paper. And on another one that I've done, I'm going to show you some samples in a second. On another one we've done, we've actually, in fact, look, let me show you. So on this one here, this is by Christine. So I don't know if you can see that, but she's actually put sparkly texture paste there through the stencil. And then I love this starry paper she's used here. That's out of one of our paper packs. I can't remember which one. I think it's a birthday one. I love that because it makes it look like it's night outside, and all the flowers are on the inside, and just like a little simple sentiment. She's used a little Dymo labeler there for that one. But I'm not going to do that today, but that is a really nice option to do that. So maybe what we do is, if I just press this back, okay, just crease that back a bit more, because I can always press it back down again. Oops. My card's quite stiff. It's a different cardstock I'm using, and it's very stiff. Okay, so I'm going to just get that ice spruce again. And I want to sort of mark where it's going to go. So that's the top. So try and actually mark it within the window, make it nice and dark in the window. And actually what I might do, let's see what we've got in here. Now what I need is, this is where you need to always have a colour chart, because basically I want a really dark colour, so I'm going to go with Chip Sapphire here, which is my darkest one, I think. Or actually, Stormy Sky. No, Chip Sapphire, because that's going to work better with that colour. So that was the one I was going to pick. This isn't a colour that I normally use. If ever. I don't know if I've ever even used this colour. Okay. So where I've marked this dark, you can see it nicely on the camera. That's kind of where I'm wanting it to go. So just nice and dark, and just build it up. I don't know, I hadn't planned this, so I'm kind of making it up as I'm going along. And if you've got any questions, just, you know, let me know. We've still got more products to go through yet, and time is cracking on. Okay, so let's press that back there. Oh, that looks really nice now. So you it actually looks like you're looking into a window, doesn't it? Which is very cool. So let me grab my bits and pieces. And what I do want to show you, all right, time to bring some other I'm just going to put this just to a side for now, because I want to show you some of the other items that are in this collection. So the whole release is kind of two different releases in one, if you like. Now, one thing I'm going to show you. Okay, I'll show you these first. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so we have these awesome calendar stamps. Now these, and also dies to match as well, by the way. These have been really popular, Chris was telling me. He said that we are already getting towards, what was it? About 75% of the stock has gone, and we had a big stock of these. We actually ordered more because when I got all the samples in and started playing with them, I was kind of like, people are going to love these, and I was right. So this is a nice big 6x8 or 7 A5 stamp set again, and you can see these are just a really nice size. So if I show you, this is an A6 card. Okay, let me just bend that back like that, so you can see that these are sized perfectly to fit both a small card and also a bigger A5 card as well. So this is an A5 size, and this is a A6, sorry, which is a 4x6 card in the States. So they're good. You can use these on either. I didn't want them to be too big, because if I was using these, you know, you kind of, the whole point of this really, first of all, that you could make, you know, you could use them in your journals if you're that way inclined. You can use them in your planners, on your scrapbook pages, on your cards. But also it's really nice, I think, just to put a date or a month onto a handmade card for somebody. So you're just acknowledging that that person, you know, like my sister's birthday is coming up in April. And because I've put the numbers on here as well, you know, you can actually do 5th of April as, you know, with her actual birthday on it. And that's quite unusual on a card. You don't, you know, you tend to put ages on there. So, you know, with your other numbers. But I don't often see where someone actually puts the date on a card, and it'll really make it stand out. So if you're selling your projects at a fair or anything like that, use these to personalise. You know, you can take them with you, have a load cut out. So because, you know, you've got the dies that are going to match, you can, and you've got number dies as well. I would cut a load of these out in advance, and I would, quite honestly, I would do them in black, white, gold and silver, and basically just cut the whole set out. What I did was, if you've got a bigger machine, I actually cut these all out together in one pass. So that makes it a lot easier, you know, to do 2 of each in 4 different colours, and those 4 colours will match every single card you make. Then, you know, you can really personalise things when you get there. Just have them all in a box and you can pick them out. So really, really useful set. And you've even got the I can't remember what they're called, these little bits, and as well. So you can see here, I've already cut some out. Whoops, let me get them out of the way. Sorry, Christine, I've turned your card inside out. But you can see how nicely they actually look. And it's a nice modern font. that isn't really going to date. It's not childish, it's just a nice modern one that's going to work with any style of card. So I'm very fussy about my fonts. I don't like fonts that aren't very nice. So that's the calendar stamps. And then the other one that everybody's been going mad for as well, quite understandably, because I'm a little in love with this set, is the all occasion stamps. So again, remember guys, if you're interested in these, just type shop all occasion or shop calendar and you'll get a link that goes into your direct messages, and then you can actually use that later and go and have another look. And also go and look at use those links to go and look at all the inspiration. I'm going to show cards in a minute, I promise. So this set, again, a big 6x8 A5 set of stamps. For some reason I keep thinking this is a smaller set. You also get the dies. I think that's why I think it's smaller, because you've got less dies than you have stamps, if you like, but it's still a good set of dies. You've got numbers here. It's one die. You know, how annoying is it when you've got to cut all of the numbers independently? So you can just cut all 10 numbers in one pass, which, you know, for me is just a game changer. You've also got on here, let me zoom in a little bit again so you can see it a bit better. So you've also got here lots of sentiments. So you've got mum, mummy, mom, mother, dad, father, daddy, husband, son, uncle, blah, blah, blah. All your family names, including auntie, uncle, cousin, partner, friend. Then you've got steps. So if you've got a stepmom or a stepdad, you've got great. So you could have great grandma, great granddad, or it could be great great grandma if you've got great great grandma. Then you've got these balloons. And what you're going to do, as you can see here, most of these, all the family names and most of the sentiments, apart from the ones that are obvious where it's much bigger, are going to fit into your balloons. So you can stamp into the balloons. You can stamp the numbers into the balloons. The only things that don't work are obviously celebrate, happy birthday, years young, but you could mask that and do it. But you can see here, if I actually get the heart balloon, so you can cut, you don't even have to stamp the balloon, you could just die cut the balloon, but there is a stamp there that it matches if you wanted to. So you can see here, take that tape off, that your balloon is going to fit. It won't fit with love, but it would if you actually masked that and stamped it separately. But you could stamp friend, wife, brother, sister. You can see you even get step in there as well. So you could get step mum, stepdad. There's special in there. So you could have a balloon with special on. This is love and best wishes here. And then you've got another one which says have a wonderful day, and it's a really pretty font, really really nice. So you're going to be able to stamp all of those out. You're going to be able to stamp your numbers, and there's enough room in the balloons that you can actually get even 100 in there. You can definitely get 99 in there. So you know, you've got all of those in there as well. So that's a fantastic set. I think that's a real must-have in your stash. And just to again show you what you can create with this. So look, I basically again stamped the whole stamp out in one go. So I just put the whole stamp on my platform, and then I just pressed it down with my Priscilla, and it all came out pretty well. And that's on watercolor cardstock, which is quite textured. So you can do that. And then look, this is what you're going to be able to create. So you can see you can get step. You could easily put stepmom in one, or stepmother even, love and best wishes, and then you can just die cut these out. And then you also have all of the little bits of string for your balloons as well. So what you can then make with that, and this is the size of the numbers as well, so just to show you what a nice size the numbers are. And again, because this was designed to go with the calendar, it's all designed to work together. So where was my calendar thing gone? Just conscious of time. So, you know, you can see here again, these numbers are a similar size to the numbers on the calendar. Sorry. On the calendar. So they're slightly smaller, but they're a little bit more traditional maybe. So these are quite funky, these numbers. So that was why I wanted to bring you some other numbers as well. So, you know, but you could have 8th of December. It's still going to work together, you know, 8th of November. It's still going to work. So, you know, you can combine these if you prefer one set of numbers to another. But again, just really, really useful. And because you can cut those all in one go, look how many I cut. That would look fab if it was confetti in a shaker card. So, you know, I'm just itching to make a shaker card with those. Right, so let me show you some samples of what you can make here, because before we get on with the rest of the demo, because it's important to show you. So going back to the window, so this was one that I made. So again, you can see that nice soft stencil in there, and you know, like I said, I put the paper, I haven't glued that down properly. I've put the paper behind. I put a little bit of glossy accents in here, just in the centre of the flowers. And then with the ivy and with the foliage, this is only from the window die. And I think actually I only part assembled this. I think it was from the TV show. So, but wind it into the shutters. So it looks really nice if you actually wind it in, and then just, you know, if you are hand delivering it, maybe make a 3D envelope so that you get that kind of dimension, but it's just so pretty. Then also this card, this is genius, this card. So who made this one? Natalia. So I love this, and Natalia's just literally used all of the foliage from, so she's used the flowers out of the window, and then she's just used the foliage from the botanical die and a butterfly from the sketchy flowers. And I'm not going to show the sketchy flowers today. We showed it on Sunday. So today I spent time actually uploading the live stream from Sunday, and also the 2 TV shows are on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch those back and get more inspiration and see things a bit more in depth, you can go and do that. Now, this is Jane, and I love what she's done here. So she's actually distressed it even more. So we've got like proper shabby shutters here that are all kind of decayed and crackled. It's just fab, all this lovely texture. And these elements are the chipboard, which is from the Pretty Jars and Chipboard bundle. Or you've just got these ones that are actually from the Botanicals, and there's also 12-inch borders as well. So if you love chipboard and love that 3D dimension, then it gives you a look. Make sure you check out the chipboard. It's an amazing, amazing price. So that's lovely. Then to go completely the other way, really nice and clean and simple, Christine made this one. Gorgeous, just loving this shot of metallic in the flowers there, and a little bit of metallic and glitter on the balloon. Isn't that cute? And then we've got another one here. Who made this one? Oh, this was Rachel. So again, Rachel's really put loads of layers. This is what I mean about them. Loving all of these layers with the botanical bits and pieces. Gorgeous. And then we've got Natalia, who made this, which is just amazing. Talk about kind of really, wow, it's just wow, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? And very dimensional. But all she's done is kind of layer little bits and pieces of chipboard up. I think she's used some scraps here of chipboard from the sheets, because you get quite a lot of wastage on this waste on the sheets where things aren't actually cut out. This is your chipboard here, and then just softening everything back with her distress oxides. Your border here, which is so useful. Again, you can use lots of the waste there, and just distressing that up. And what I do really love is that she's actually stamped a little background in here, look. So I'm not sure where that stamp's from. It's from, I do recognise it, but I can't think where it's from. But it's definitely one of our, but I love that. It's just a whole scene in its own. Dawn, did you get a message? Ooh, handy. And then also I need to show you the number dies. So that was just the stencil. And then look what we've got with the numbers. So, and the calendar. So Natalia made this awesome calendar, like a flip book, a flip calendar rather, using all of the, where are we? I've gone back to the front. It actually stands up. Bear with me. So she's actually made it so it stands up, which is very cool. And look, that's just by putting an insert in, like that V insert like that. So you could do that as well. But how nice is this, using the stencils in the collection? Sorry, my banana's repeating on me again. And I think she's probably just gone online and just printed a little mini calendar out. But yeah, I just love that. And you could actually put the important dates in there, couldn't you, on the numbers? So that's that one. Just using those calendars on your card, you know, your general cards. This is the Daisy, I think it's Daisy Wings stamp set that we had a while ago. Again, just using that as a background. How lovely is that? You just send someone a card in August. It could be for anything. Rachel made this little planner page. Again, really cute. And look, sister birthday, they're from the stamp set as well. She's actually handwritten the other bits and pieces. These are from the Sketchy Flowers. And then something a bit different, just using those balloons from the All Occasions set. And what I love about this, first of all, we've got a little bit of glitter and shine going on. But what I love is that Christine's used, I think it's Christine, yeah, has used the patterns from the switchable stencils into the balloons. So use them as a mask. And again, another window. So we've got lots of shimmer and shine here. So nice white on white. And this is what I was meaning about layering up the messages. So husband and wife, what a great anniversary card that is. Isn't it gorgeous? You know, if you sent, and this is exactly how I planned for these balloons and stamps to work, that you would actually layer them up and create your own messages with them. And here's another great one as well. So friend, have a wonderful day. 21, celebrate. All from that All Occasions stamp set. And dies. I just absolutely love it. Fabulous. And that's exactly what they're meant to do. So I hope they're kind of going to inspire you a little bit. And then I just wanted to show you a couple more cards, just a couple more things. So this is using the flowers here from the Sketchy Flowers. But again, 42 years young, you can create that message rather. And then just to show you another card using the happy birthday that's on that set, and also just grandma down there in the corner. And you can see it's just such a nice little font. It's really sort of timeless classic, I think. And then there's just one more here. One more just snuck in there. And that's happy birthday June. And that, I wonder if she's called June or whether it's happy birthday in June. Not sure. You could have April. I mean, there's April, May, isn't there? April, May, June are all people's names. So it'd be lovely. So that's what you can do with those dies and stamps. So shall we get back on with finishing our demonstration off? I've lost all my bits now. Don't know where I've put it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what we could do, let me see. I want to actually stamp in here, but I'm not quite sure what we should stamp. Let me think. I think what I'm going to do, so I'm going to bring in this, which is the Switchables stencil. Okay, so you can see here now all of these are all going to come attached. They've got little tiny tabs. Just snip these out, and what it means then is that you can use this as both a stencil and a mask. So I've got mine here. Just conscious of time, we're running out of time. So I've already detached all my bits and pieces here. Now, the whole reason these are called switchables is because you could switch them around, and you can do what you want with them. So now with this stencil, it becomes a mask for me. So I can actually use this. Now I could use the square here, which I think is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to tape that down. And I'm just going to tape the other side of that. I want to make sure I don't kind of, because I'm going to be working on something that's already been done, I don't want to go over that area. I want that properly masked off. Okay. So now if I wanted to, I could come back in with this dark colour and I can actually darken that right up now, right around the edges if I wanted to. I'm going to do that now because I've done it on one side. I need to make it match. Okay. So, and also now because this has dried a bit, I can go a bit darker than I did before. So then what we can do is we could use one of the patterns here as well and actually kind of make a bit of a pattern, but it kind of is gonna, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this. I want it to look like it's a wallpaper almost on the inside. So I'm gonna tape this down, and I promise I'm nearly done. I just really wanted to show you this. So I'm gonna just tape this down. You'll have a little tiny border around where it fits in to the actual aperture itself, okay? But there is enough of a border around the pattern that you can actually still tape it. Just going to do those sides. Now I am going to get my spongy, okay? And if you've not seen spongy before, this is basically the best cloth that you will ever have, or the best sponge. There's actually a cloth as well, and this is not like any other cloth. This is going to be your best friend on your craft table. So this is slightly damp. It comes to you damp, and it works best when it's damp. It is going to get grubby like it does here. This is just ink, but it's not actually dirty. And what I love about it is you've got these ridges that enable you to scrub really easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe, because we're dealing with an oxide here, I'm just going to wipe across my ink. So in effect, what we're going to do is we're going to actually bleach that off. So I'm going to just dry this off. And hopefully, if it's worked, it's given me a little bit of a pattern in the background, not too much, but that's okay. I wanted it to be quite subtle. I wanted it to look like it was the wallpaper behind the window. So it's actually worked perfectly. My card's warping, but never mind. Okay. And then now we can, now look, I've kind of got a bit of an aperture, a bit of a border going on here around there because the square was a bit wider than I wanted it to be. But I'm not going to worry about that because it won't matter at all. Now, where's all my bits and pieces? I just want to assemble this so that I'm not keeping you too long. So let's just get all these bits. So I've got my little thingy-me-bob. What do you call it? Window box. And then what I would do, I haven't glued this down obviously, so I'm going to be a bit careful. I would just literally wind this around your window, and you can just, you know, entwine it through, like I said, entwine it through those shutters, and it kind of pretty much looks after itself anyway. So you can wrap it around there, and then I'm just going to pull in some extra bits of foliage here. So this is kind of roughly how I would lay this out, and I've just cut these in 2 different colours just to add a little bit of just a little bit of interest really. Let's have some hanging down. Love this. It's kind of like a bit of a eucalyptus, this one. And let's just layer this up. So we'll have light against dark each time. I think we might put that one down there, a darker one there. And then we'll have, oops, it's not easy when you're just trying to position it in. Okay, so we'll just put our flowers in. And if we wanted to, right, let me take that one off. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there. And we'll put, I would snip these and make them all fit nicely and everything. But we're going to have a little flower hanging down there. And we'll have, oops, another flower going across there. Now I haven't run out, I've got a couple more. Oh, it looks so pretty. I love it. I just love this die so much. And then, so you could have, you know, maybe cut a couple more. I like these just kind of randomly hanging down like this. Have I frozen? My screen's frozen. So there we go. It's an hour again, isn't it? An hour and 5 again. It's spree. Sorry if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm back, am I? Yeah. Oh, do you know what it was? I think my camera battery's gone. For some reason. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit. Sorry guys, couldn't understand what had happened there. I think it's actually my camera battery that went. Okay, so I think that just looks gorgeous. Oh, it looks lovely. So then what I would do is, I think, just die cut some of these. Let me see, have I got some? Did I have some done? Don't think I did. I did, surely I had some. I had loads before. Where have they all gone? Oh, one thing I do want to just put in though, our little curtains. Okay, bear with me. Just going to press these bits out. I was just die cutting this as we went live, and I think my cardstock's a bit thick for this one. I didn't actually weed my die out when I cut this, so it hasn't cut brilliantly. But it's not the die; it's just that I'd left all the bits in from the previous time I cut it. So that's just a little tip with that die. So the little window die, the little this little curtain, just make sure you weed it each time you use it. So we could just put that in there, and basically then, oh, where's it gone? Bear with me. Just want to finish it properly. Oh, there they are. Okay, I knew I had some cut, and I want to show you just one more. Another thing that I made, if I've got time. Remember, guys, I'm going to finish in a couple of minutes. Just remember, if you want a reminder for next time's live, which will be next Wednesday, unless I do an impromptu one, just type reminder and you'll get a reminder in your DMs. So let's see. Mother's Day is coming up. So now this is how I designed all of these 3 collections to go together. So the whole idea is that you can then wind your balloons however they are. So you've got, oh, I've got them all cut here. Some hearts. Have a wonderful day. Dad. Husband. Special. So look, I've got special, I'm trying not to knock this because it's so pretty. I'm going to glue this down, I think, because I really love what I've just made. I just think it looks so nice. So we've got special mum now. It would maybe look nice if we coloured those. So special mum. Now threes work, don't they? Now the other thing is these were also designed, the little strings with a little curl on the end. And again, that's actually on purpose, believe it or not, so that you can hook them around your shutters. So special mum, have a wonderful day. And if it was a 40th, you could put, a 40 on there as well. It might be going a little bit over the top if you had, but you could do. It's up to you. You could have it on a, you could maybe have that inside, maybe even. Let me see, what's it like if you do it inside? And you could even, actually, do you know what? That would be nice if you put, just thinking about it. Chris is going to start moaning at me anytime now because football's on. But look, you could have special mum. Oops. Oh, crikey. How not to do something. This is me all over. This is just... But anyway, you get the idea. You could have special mum inside and wonderful day outside. And, I would actually just put a bit more of this foliage on. This particular one, I would just kind of wind it a little bit more. But how lovely is that? It's just I think that's gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. And I know I'd already cut all the dies out, but they actually didn't take very long to do. So, it looks like you've spent hours and hours. And if you made that card and you were selling it, you would easily be able to charge £10 for that card, or about $15. You really would, because that's really special. And bear in mind, if you were making it for a fair to sell, you can personalise it as well. So you could make these up already and then just have the balloons made to actually personalise them. Imagine that. You would have, if you did that at a fair, if I'd have done that at any of the fairs that I used to go to, it literally I'd have had a queue around the room of people queued up waiting to buy that, because it's absolutely, well, I think it's gorgeous. So go dark in the window. I think it really works when you do that and go dark in the window. Right. Okay. I'm not going to bore you anymore. We've gone for over an hour now. So we've done well. We've done well, guys. So have you all been entering? Have you all been entering win? Oh, Maz is here as well. Tweezers are our best friend. Yes, Kerry, I agree. And I don't know why I didn't use mine, but I should have done, shouldn't I? Yeah. Who else has been here? Let me see if I can just quickly name check. Jazzy Jeff, Dawn. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Sue, thanks for joining us. Chris, thank you so much for all joining with us. So you can still shop until Friday, I think, if you want to catch up. But just remember, if there was anything that you particularly wanted, Chris will pop all the product codes will come up at the end anyway, if you can't find anything on the website. If you're not in the giveaway, you've got 3 seconds to type win and you'll be in the giveaway. Someone's going to win a £25 or $30 credit to the store, so you can go shopping. And what else have I got to say? If you want a reminder for next week's live, type reminder and it goes on to like a little list, and then just before the live you'll get a little message that says, hey, we're going to go live at 7 o'clock. And you can unsubscribe at any point in time. That's all we use it for. We don't farm your data. We don't share your email or anything with anybody. It literally goes into your direct messages on Facebook. So there's nothing that isn't private there with it or anything. So are we ready for the giveaway? Has everyone entered win, apart from the design team who are not allowed to win? Okay, are we ready? Let's go. Oh, look at that. I love it when it all goes random like that. It's so cool. And confetti. Yay. Lindsay. Well done, Lindsay. I didn't name check you. I didn't see your name in there. Well done, Lindsay. So you'll get a little message that tells you how to actually claim your credit for the store. So just look out for that message in your DMs. And that's it. Has anyone got any questions about anything just before I sign off and let Chris go and watch his football? Let me know if there's anything you want to know. Please, could you photograph and post the card? Yes, I absolutely will, because I have to say I'm a little in love with this. I made a couple of different ones. I don't know what I've done with them. I think they must still be in all my stuff that I've not unpacked from Friday's show, but actually I prefer this one. It's just lovely. And you know what's made that is that putting that dark blue behind the window, it just has really made it stand out, I think. So make sure that you try that little technique and try the different colours with your stencil. So if you remember, it was speckled egg, Victorian velvet and peacock feather that you need to add into the other colours that you do. So if you do browns, still add those 3 colours in. Yeah, Lindsay, congratulations. Love your glasses. Thank you, Kim. They're new. I was talking about these last week. Someone was going to message me but didn't, so I can't remember who it was. But if you were, let me know and I'll send you that referral. Yeah, I think that's Scrapper. I think that's Tatty again. Yeah, Tatty. Thank you, Tatty. So thank you all for joining me. It's gone way too fast. We still just never have time, do we? Never have time to do everything. But I will load this to you. Well, it's on YouTube now anyway. So if you missed any bits or you want to catch up or you want to just replay something, head to YouTube and you can see it there. It's there now. It live streams every week, and also I also link to these in like gallery video list. So, and also I'll put these actually into this collection page as well, because we've got a few of these now. Right, I'm going to head off. I think I'm going to go and have something to eat and get a drink. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Wednesday. If you've not shopped the new collection yet, it's called Hello Spring. Head to the website. There's a whole category there for it, and you can shop. There's some really amazing bundles there with fantastic value. So make sure you snap those up because it is actually going really, really quickly, and we had lots of stock. So yeah, I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Be safe and hugs to you too, Kerry. Bye, Maz. Bye, Sue and Kim and everyone else. Thank you so much. Okay, see you next week.